it takes forever, 'cause I never felt this way, but if the world stops turning.
Hello, welcome to Living Arts. I'm your host, Jackie Suarez. Thank you for tuning in. We have a great show tonight. We're going to be introducing you to a singer, songwriter, performer, Michelle DeAngelis, a Westchester native. Michelle, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jackie.
It's nice to have you on.
Thank you for having me.
Again, I have to thank one of my previous guests for kind of hooking us up, Harry Rios. We have to give him a little shout out. You mentioned
Harry.
that you worked with him before.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am originally from New Rochelle. I grew up there and studied music. I went to SUNY Purchase to do the studio composition program. And then started doing musical theater and just playing the piano whenever I could.
Yeah, so you'd mentioned that kind of when you were younger, you always played the piano. Was that like your instrument?
That was my instrument growing up. I was very lucky. I came from a musical family, and so my mom was like, "Yeah, play the piano," and so it just became my thing. And when I was a teenager, started writing and just performing as much as I could.
So you were performing in high school before you got to SUNY Purchase?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, that must have been fun for you to do when you were like a
Yeah,
teenager.
it was pretty cool. You know, it was like school functions or when we went on vacations or I also studied at Hoff-Barthelson, which is in Scarsdale, and they would have concerts and things like that. So
what all is in with the studio composition? Is that, tell me something about that.
It's basically you study, writing formats of songs. You study studio.
Kind of editing or engineering.
Yeah, right. So you can record, and so that's basically the program.
Okay, so when you graduated from there, was it kind of your plan to become just an artist, or you kind of went into the teaching as well? Was that kind of a...
Well, while I was there, it was a nice opportunity because I was able to go perform in Manhattan all the time and have weekly gigs and stuff like that. But as I got out of school, yes, I wanted to be an artist. However, teaching sort of just fell into my lap, and I had a child, when I was young, so I kind of still was writing and recording, but not performing as much as I would have liked to. But that's why now I'm back in it.
So I found what was really interesting, I guess, if you look at your Facebook and some of the videos that you've put on, you don't find too often that, most performers or people that are doing local gigs will be just covering some songs. It's like, what is inspiring you to do the writing for your work?
I started writing as just sort of like a journal or sort of just a way to vent. And I think now it's a way to vent still, but I'm also sort of obsessed with music and obsessed with just coming up with new things or just trying out a new chord pattern or anything like that. So it's still fun to me, and I love it.
So you're one of these writers that gets really productive when you're feeling upset or...
Exactly.
Really?
Yes.
That's a shame, right? The Adele syndrome, right?
Yes.
Or they're calling it the Adele syndrome.
Yes, but Billy Joel, he always said, you can't write when you're not depressed, but that's not necessarily true.
Mm-hmm. You could be feeling really happy as well.
Right. So, I mean, I just take from experiences, and if something's really affected me, a person or whatever, then, I try to write about it.
Incorporate it into your music. Now, do you have a band that you work with, or do you normally do your gigs solo?
I don't right now, although I am looking for one. I'm hoping to have one by the summer so I can do some more bigger venues and things like that. And but a lot of times I do play solo.
Okay, so where are some of the
Yeah.
places that you've been performing?
Every Friday evening I perform at Croton Creek. That's in Croton Falls, New York. And I just did an all female singer-songwriter evening with myself and 3 other nice singer-songwriter ladies. And we had a nice time. That was in Brooklyn at the Rustic Tavern.
Okay.
And in April, I'm going to be at the Sarah's Wine Bar, which is in Ridgefield, Connecticut. And so I'm just kind of working my way around. Oh, I do Widow Brown's in Danbury, Connecticut. That's a lot of fun.
Well, that's pretty steady to have something that you go to. Like, so you're like the house band for the place out in Croton Falls.
Yeah, the place in Croton Falls is a steakhouse and a wine bar, and it's really beautiful. They have beautiful couches, a fireplace, and a beautiful piano, and so.
So what's
it's
kind
really
of like
nice.
your on your set list, or what are you? Well, these are all original songs, or are you covering anything?
I'm covering because it's usually 3 hours, and I
Wow.
don't have 3 hours of originals.
Is it some of it
I
instrumental?
No, I'm usually always singing unless I'm like dead tired or something, But usually always singing, and yeah, I mean I play everything from Broadway to oldies to newer. I mean, really, I try to incorporate all kinds of music because I get bored easily. So I'm like, I
yeah,
need new
and
stuff to play.
I'm not sure how much material you have either. So if you're playing for 3 hours, you probably
Right.
have to slip some covers in there as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. As far as my originals, I probably have 3 hours of material. However, it's not all 3 hours I would want to show. They'd
Right,
be
you want
like,
to share with everyone.
Okay, Michelle, we want to hear a song we know now.
You're not sure if it'll be well received or not. So
Right.
what's kind of, if you could paint the perfect future for yourself in music, what would that look like?
A killer band, a finished album, and a small tour, and a song in a TV show or a movie, and just playing music. I mean, I feel very blessed because I'm able to make a living playing music. I play for singers. I'm an organist at a church and teaching and gigging and stuff. So I feel blessed. My piano skills are sort of what have saved me from having to get a regular job, which I probably would die.
You would. Coming from a 9 to 5,
Yes.
9 to 5 over here.
So really, I mean, that as far as my songwriting goes, that would be beautiful. That would be beautiful.
Now, I'm a little unfamiliar with it, but as far as, like, let's say you were to write something and some big artist wanted to perform it, does that work out for you better financially than it would if you promoted it yourself?
It does, depending on your agreement with the artist or the publisher. Then you need a lawyer. So you're like trying to get the most you could possibly get for your material.
But I guess in the long run, being that you'd be the writer of the one song, no matter who performed it, you'd still have the rights to it, right?
Possibly, yes.
Possibly.
Honestly, it really depends on your agreement because there are people that haven't gotten anything, or they've been a ghostwriter and the artist puts their name on the song and you would never know that
True.
Joe Smith wrote this song, but Beyonce's singing it,
Yeah.
and says that she wrote it, but that's
Right.
not really the case. And so
So that must happen fairly
it does,
often.
and sometimes they're like, here's X amount of dollars, we're going to sing your song, and that's the end. And so you don't get residuals or anything like that.
Right. So
It depends. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I guess that's a tricky. You always have to kind of look out for your interests when you
Yeah,
do something like that.
And plus, if you're somebody that's trying to come up, there's a lot of other writers, and you're probably going to get the not the best deal that somebody else who's already been doing it.
Right.
Right.
It said in your bio that you'd gone to Spain for a small tour. Tell me
yeah,
about that.
That was a long time ago. That was in Purchase.
Okay, so it was like related to the school?
Yeah, and there was a bunch of us, and we did a bunch of shows, and that was a lot of fun. Yeah.
So it was just kind of organized by the school. Were you performing for money, or?
No, we weren't performing for money. We were just performing.
Oh, so it was more like a vacation.
Right. No, that's not true. We went to school.
Uh-huh.
We went to school, and yeah, it really was, though, I guess maybe to promote the school's program, you know, and we did television shows out there and stuff like that, so that was cool. But, excuse me, yeah, no, we weren't performing for money. Most musicians aren't performing for money.
Right, exactly. So you mentioned something earlier when we were speaking. You do a lot with teaching and musical theater. Tell me about some of the, the productions you've been involved with and how that, how that work, is working for you.
Okay, I started doing high school productions, and then I started doing some theater companies. The most recent show that I musical directed was Yes, Virginia, There's a Santa Claus, which was sponsored by Macy's. And it was at the Paramount right here in Pisco, and it was beautiful. And
that was with another local theater group, I guess, not a theater group,
there
but
was two.
Scarlet Antonia Arts.
Yes, and Rising Stars, which is also in Yonkers. And so we did that, and we had a great turnout. It was beautiful, and I got to perform on the stage as well because they had like a pre-show.
Oh, okay.
And so that was pretty awesome.
And your daughter was the lead.
Yeah,
she was
daughter,
Virginia.
She was. It was so fun.
So how old is your daughter?
She's going to be 8 next month.
Oh, wow. So she's singing, dancing, acting, the whole banana?
Yeah.
So do you spend any time, like, are you promoting her? You're a stage mom as well?
I try not to be. She tells me, I want to be in TV. I want to do this, And so I'm just like, let's study, let's work, let's prepare ourselves. And then when you become a little older, if that's really what you want to do, because I feel like all young girls want to sing, dance, act, prance around, and, do that.
Right.
So
it's good to also have like a fallback or like take your studies a little bit seriously too.
Right. Well, I tell her that's your job. Your studies are your job. But she's the kind of kid that loves everything. So I'm just putting her in a positive direction, and hopefully we'll see what happens. I'm trying not to be a stage mom, but she has huge hands, and I told her the other night, listen, if you don't play the piano, you have to play something, because her hands already are... No,
you mean like long fingers or just large hands?
She already can reach over an octave, which is more than 8 notes, which most children older than her, and I have a lot of students, they can't. Or they can reach an octave, but her hand stretch just naturally is over an octave. And her father's very, very tall, so he's 6'6", yeah.
So we'll have to keep our eyes open for her. So did you have to get any type of teaching degree in order to have students, or was it just kind of a word of mouth? Is it something a little more informal?
It's been word of mouth as far as private students go. I did teach for a little while at some Catholic schools, but it wasn't really my thing. And so I did go to Lehman to get my master's, but I didn't finish. So I'm kind of sticking to what's working for me, and I really want to focus on my songwriting thing.
Sometimes you realize what's wrong. You spend so long that you can't remember. There's a side of us we hide, and when you wake, it's still alive inside of beauty. That's where you'll find me. You say I don't want it, say I don't need it, say I'm never gonna change. Well, I'm starting it over, giving it a go. I'm praying for that sunny day, and the only thing I have is a hope inside my hands. I'm giving it all away, 'cause today, it is the day. You say I don't want it, say I don't need it, say I'm never gonna change. Well, I'm starting it over, giving it a go. I'm praying for that sunny day. And the only thing I have is a hope inside my hands. I'm giving it all away. 'Cause today, it is the day. How can I know where my future will go? I'm finally waiting. This feeling I'm facing. Oh, I'm ready to fly. Oh, you say I don't want it, say I don't need it, say I'm never gonna change. Oh, well, I'm starting it over, giving it a go. I'm praying for that sunny day. And the only thing I have is a hope inside my hands. I'm giving it all away. 'Cause today, it is the day. Ooh, today, it is the day.
I've done some stuff with Anthony Rodriguez, who has a well-known dance company called La Santa Luz, and I wrote a song for him that he performed for the president of Turkey when he went out there with his dance company.
Wow.
So that was pretty cool. And and I've done some other stuff with different producers, and a lot of times like they'll ask me to come in and just play a little piano stuff here and there, and use it for tracks, and so that's fun. So
you're doing much of that these days, or was that something that would just happen with the old
no,
producer?
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not doing it as much, although I would like to. So, I'm just trying to get focused back onto my particular songwriting and being an artist myself. And if those opportunities come, that would be great. But I am working with a producer now, and he's here in Peekskill. His name's Brian Taylor.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's been on the show, actually.
Oh, yes.
Small world. I love Brian. He's great. He's absolutely
Brian,
great.
Yes.
So you're recording in his studio, the Sound Painters?
Yep.
I haven't been over there, but his work is phenomenal.
It is. Beautiful stuff. So we're doing one song together. It's almost done.
Okay, so I guess you're working towards having this album that you want to do for...
Well, I'm not necessarily going to do an album right now, but just constantly recording, and hopefully I'll put it out someday, because I've been the kind of person like, okay, that's nice. I don't like it anymore. Okay, that was nice. I don't like it anymore.
So you go and record, one or two songs, and you get it studio quality, and I noticed that you also make these things available on iTunes.
Right. Well, this is my first release because it was just a piano and a vocal, and maybe I should play that song tonight. I wasn't going to, but...
Yeah, you might as well.
I did a music video for it with a very talented photographer. His name's Keith Rogers. And
I think I might have seen that on your website. What's the name of it? It's
the song's called The Same.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And we did a video for it, and it was kind of like, pick a song, Michelle. And I'm like, what? All right, we'll just do this, because it's plain piano, vocal, and
is it like a ballad.
It's a ballad, and I did it in one take. It was just supposed to be like just a guide. It was like, I was supposed to redo it,
and they didn't give you the opportunity.
I never redid it, and I was just like, okay, well, I'll just leave it. And everybody that saw the video was like, where can I buy the song? And I'm like, okay, I have to put the song out. So that was my first release.
How do you do that with iTunes? Or you submit it to them?
Well, I think you can do it that way, but the way that I did it was through something called TuneCore. And if you sign up for TuneCore, and this is great for all musicians, if you sign up for TuneCore, you pay a little bit of money. It's very cheap, like $10 for a year or something. And
that's like a membership.
Right, and then they do it for you. They distribute it, so it's on iTunes, it's on Amazon, Spotify, Rhapsody, all the major digital downloads. So it's really worth it.
Okay, so it's the first time that you've had the opportunity to do that, or is
Yes, because I really, I was like, well, I didn't want to put anything out yet till I felt like I was ready. And so with the video, I felt like, okay, now is a good time to put something out.
Right, well, there was a demand for it.
Right.
Okay.
So I'm excited.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's another way to just like the ways that are available to people to just promote their work, to me, is just mystifying.
It is. It's like another day job because you can spend all day long searching for these sites and different things to help yourself. And sometimes you don't know what's, the best way to go. So it is. It's overwhelming.
So are you looking for some type of representation for someone to kind of guide your career or move you to where you want to be?
I'm not sure if that's the way to go anymore. I don't really know. I mean, if somebody comes along and says, I can do A, B, and C, and it sounds good to me, then I'll be like, good, let's do it, But the industry has changed so much that I don't even know. Sometimes you're better off just doing it on your own. Unless somebody's like, okay, I want to help you get to here. Honestly, I don't know.
Well, I guess you'd have to cross that bridge, right, when someone asks you.
Exactly.
Well, I just thought that was always kind of in the back of everyone's mind as a performer. You're like, well, I hope someone's in the audience and, we have this conversation and I get signed to a label.
And again, like, there is really no labels anymore like we've known them. It's really distribution because they don't do artist development. They don't do any of the stuff that they did even 10 years ago. So basically, you do all the work and then they put their name on it to distribute it.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
So it's really changed, and
so
they don't put the money into the artists the way they used to.
So even if they signed you, it wouldn't be like they're just going to be throwing money at you and promoting you on their own dime.
Well, they possibly will if they feel that you already have a following. If you already have a following, then they'll probably promote you, further. But they want to see that people want your stuff because I guess people don't really buy music the way that they used to, and
right.
It's very
easier
saturated.
Just to get like one song.
Right, and it's so saturated because you have YouTube and things. People are bombarded with music all day long,
Right, that is true.
So it's different now.
Yeah, that kind of crossed my mind that some things. I mean, I've known just a couple of people that work independently, or they make their living performing. A couple of people come to mind, but they don't necessarily have, let's say, a manager or a specific label that they work with. Many people. There was someone that we had on the show. Her name is Daisy Joplin, and she did something called Kickstarter.
Right,
Basically,
I know, where you...
Right, her project.
Yeah.
She was trying to raise X amount of dollars to finish this album and do it the way that she wanted to do it, and got enough people to donate that money, and I was just stunned.
Yes, there's Kickstarter and Indiegogo, which is another one. I don't know if they're sort of the same.
It's kind of like, you ever see that show Shark Tank?
Yep.
Something like that.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, that's always a possibility.
Yes, I mean, it's amazing just the ways that people can promote themselves.
Yeah.
So, I'm getting the 2-minute mark over here from our friends. Tell the audience how to get a hold of you, your website, upcoming gigs.
Okay, which camera do
One with the light on it.
Okay, my website is www.mdeangelismusic.com. And my Facebook is facebook.com/Michelle. Oh, wait a second. Yes, Michelle DeAngelis Music 1. And
or you can just put in Michelle DeAngelis. I think
yeah, but that
up.
might go to my
Personal
personal page, and you don't want that one. And so those are the best ways to reach me. And you could come hear me at Croton Creek every Friday. From 8:30 to 11:30, or you could look at my website and see where I'm playing, because sometimes things come up last minute, and so right now I'm getting ready for that, and probably the last Tuesday of this month going to do the female singer-songwriter thing again in Brooklyn.
Okay, terrific. Well, thank you for coming to the show.
Thank you for having me.
We're going to be seeing a little performance clip of Michelle a little bit later. You're also going to be seeing some beautiful artwork from our youngest fan, Maya Dias, my niece. did something really cute. I want to thank you for tuning in. It's been a great show. You can catch us on Facebook at Living Arts in Westchester, old episodes, Living Arts in Westchester. And thank you, and have a great night. Peace.
Oh, your words, they're beautiful like rain, but you hurt. I wanna take away your pain. Oh, I'll wait if it takes forever, 'cause I never felt this way. But if the world stops turning and we all go to war, it's your love that saved me. I don't need anything more. I've tried and tried to make it on my own. Let me know that I don't have to. Oh, your love feels like a summer breeze I wanna hold on to. Let me hold on to you. Time, it's slipping away, and I want every moment to feel this way. But if the world stops turning, and I know it will stop turning, but when the world stops turning and we walk through heaven's door, it's your love that saved me. Oh, your love has saved me. Your love has saved me. I don't need anything